All right. Definitely need to invite Billy, for sure, since he's so far away, you know? As you guys get on here, go ahead and do what you do. Say hi, press share, tell me where you're coming from, and we'll get going. This is going to be probably not a super short live stream because it is the culmination of the heart of all of the quote-unquote impartation that I've received from my higher self, from God, from love, through the past probably month to 3 months. And for those of you that don't know, I made another Facebook on purpose so that I could not do what I was doing to transition and to do what I need to be doing. Because what I need to be doing is not caring about anything but love. And I have been so distracted by the illusions in the natural realm that are really just a byproduct of the collective consciousness that brings forth the human experience into creation. And that one right now, as we all know, is truth that is unfolding into greater truth, but it definitely has a lot of compromise in the mix of the human experience. And I needed to slow down really bad. I needed to not be so concerned about things that really don't serve me, and they don't add to my life, and they're inconsequential to my growth, which includes things but are not limited to money, sharing, sex, likes, conversions, miracles, a bunch of things that are definitely good in their own right, and definitely God at their core, but they just weren't serving me. So I made that new Facebook, and I've just been living. I've been living my life. I've been aware of my life. I've been aware of myself. I've been conscious of my conscience. And it's been a really, really powerful, month to 3 months. And I was sitting this morning with my children and was feeding my daughter her breakfast, and I heard the term, the algorithm of life. And I was like, whoa, the algorithm of life, it's kind of big, because an algorithm is a law that governs the operation of a thing. And for Facebook, we have all these algorithms that, if you do this, this happens. If you do that, this happens, and so on and so forth. And I was like, well, the algorithm of life. What is the algorithm of life? And of course, it's probably as of no surprise to any of you, the algorithm of life is love. Yep. The law of love is the law that governs the algorithm of life itself. Now, life itself is God. Life manifested in the natural realm is creation, is humanity, is nature, is animals. And the source that fuels the law that governs this realm is God, is love. And I'm going to use the word love and not God so you can hear more of what I'm saying from the perspective of love. Because God has a lot of definitions connected to it. God has a lot of soul ties that are kind of negative, that affect our mind, will, and emotions because of the definitions and the experiences that we've had with God, quote unquote. And so the algorithm of life is love. Every single thing that is going down is from the source of love and being governed by the algorithm of love that holds together everything in the natural realm. And this is a very hard pill to swallow, because look at all of the bad stuff, right? Look at all of the rape, the human trafficking, the drug addiction, the child abuse, the divorce, the pornography. There's no way the algorithm of life is love. So let's ask ourselves a couple questions. Hi, Shauna. Shauna Christian is one of the most powerful people I've ever met. She really imparted to me the operation in practical application in the human experience of hindsight technology, and really honoring the technology of hindsight, so I can go into my past and truth it real well. And so thank you for that, Shauna. If you guys aren't following her and her brother Brian Christian, they're amazing sons that are manifesting and answering the cry of the cosmos that's been groaning for us to realize that we are God in flesh, literally. As he is, so are we. This is not a debate for you and me, not any longer. We are the continuation of the incarnation. So, the hard pill to swallow is that every single thing that I've thought, judged, experienced, were all ran through a filter of the program of what some of us would call, the Balic or Babylonic systems that steal from the entire reason that we're here, which is to live, to experience, to expand, to grow, and to manifest the knowledge, experiential knowledge of the glory of God all over the earth as the water covers the sea, through Christ in you and Christ in me. And it's very, very obvious that this has worked, that these systems have worked, and they have fucked with our algorithm, because we don't honor the algorithm, so it doesn't feel like the algorithm's working. So we just start pointing the finger everywhere else. We go, that's evil, and this is that, and I'm condemned, and I need to fix myself. And all of that is not love. All of that is not God. Those are all truths that unfold into more truths that eventually wake you up to the truth that love is holding together everything, and everything is held together by love. And the only law that matters, according to my ascended master Yeshua, is the thing that fulfilled the laws, all of them, and the prophets, all of them. And that is the law of love, fulfilled all of it. The law of love fulfilled all of it. And that's rough. That's a hard pill to swallow, because I want to judge the way people talk. I wanted to for 33 years be, upset. Other than when I was a teenager, when someone said fuck. I wanted to be upset when somebody, lied to me. And I've been programmed to be upset about these things. I've been programmed to perceive problems. And I'm done with that. Like, it doesn't serve me at all. All it does is cause stress, anxiety, division. I don't want dis-ease. I don't want that in my human experience. And I don't have to if I can honor the source of life that put into effect the algorithm of love through his words that affect our consciousness, that fuel creation and the trees and the human experience with life, and that's love. The algorithm of life is love. Period. And so the law that governs everything going on is love. And the way that we perceive from our programmings the human experience will either put us more in the flow of life, which is love, or it will hinder us experiencing what the algorithm is proclaiming over and over. And until we honor it, until we see it, we won't get to experience all of the benefits of it. Yes, Shauna, false expectations, absolutely, left, right, and center. And those false expectations have stolen from my human experience forever, because I have been resisting the algorithm. I have been resisting who I am. I have been resisting life itself, because all three of those are love. I am life. That's the spirit of life that's in me. The law that governs the human experience is the law of love. And life itself is love. The algorithm of life is love. The reason that we don't experience the beauty of the flow of life is we don't honor that algorithm, and we have submitted to all these other systems. The systems of money, the systems of needing a government, the systems of having, all of these false forms of leadership that don't line up with love, but manifest the operation of control, which is the counterfeit faith, because fear really is faith, just used. The energy is just being used in the wrong way, because you have the creative spirit of God inside of you. You can use that energy and attach it to any word that you want and create that manifestation in the human experience, but it doesn't change the fact that the spirit of love is in you, and that is what is creating your human experience around you. But even while you're creating all of those stupid things that don't serve you, the algorithm of love is always using them for you. And it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. In the middle of my worst seasons of life, in the depth of my sin, which is just anything that divides, the operations of division, things that make me feel like I'm separated from God, things that make me feel like I'm not loved, all of that stuff, even in the middle of those seasons, love, the algorithm of life, was going, all of this is working for your good. Because God is the algorithm of life. God is what holds together this entire realm. God is what powers and animates your physical body right now. God is everything or he's nothing. And I'm just done fighting the flow of life. I'm just done not honoring the algorithm. I'm just done not submitting to the source of who I am and how all this is. And that's love. And I want to be like Winnie the Pooh, really. That's what I want to be like. I want when the exciting, bouncy Tigger comes up to me, which I used to be 100%, and I'm still kind of getting out of that. Boing, 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 boing. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. I don't gotta go. I don't gotta go anywhere. I don't gotta do anything. There's enough adventure and love lessons in every moment right now, because this moment is sacred. This moment exists in this dimension, in this multiverse. Who knows if it's real? Who knows if it's virtual reality? Who really knows? Who really cares? It's all love regardless. I don't have to figure all that out. I don't have to be the mystery man releasing all the mystical stuff. That doesn't have to be me. I want to experience all of life, which is to yield to love that I am and yield to the algorithm that's trying to get me to stop treading water, lift up my legs, and float down the river of life and love. I'm done fighting. I'm done resisting. I'm done telling people what to do. I'm done helping anybody. I'm done condemning myself. I'm done judging outwardly. Love is the final judgment for me. And if love has no conditions, then really the judgment that I am in right now is the judgment of love, freeing myself from all my conditions to not love, so I don't get to enjoy the algorithm of life, so that I can experience all of the love and life in my human experience. Ha ha ha! It's just not happening. I'm done. I'm done stealing from myself. I'm done stealing from you. And so here we are. We are in love, period. It's non-negotiable. God is everything. God is you. God is me. God is the tree, period. God is everything. So you can jump in the river and you can float and enjoy the freedom of love and life and enjoy the algorithm of love and life working for you. Or you can keep resisting yourself, thinking that you need to change, thinking that you're broken, thinking that you're bad, thinking that you need to convert to something, think that you need breakthrough in something. Or you can enjoy the whole reason that this exists, which is this moment. This is it. All of eternity is in this moment right now. All of God is in you right now. This is the whole point. The whole point is to be in the moment. That's it. This moment is God. This moment is sacred. How many of us can say that we've had a culture that has said every moment is sacred no matter what's happening in it, because it couldn't be happening apart from God. Every moment is divine. Every moment has a love lesson in it. Every moment has an expansion for your human experience to tangibly, through amazing technology of senses, be God, named Dan, to experience this realm that he created to know himself. All of that is a very, very sacred dance. I use the word dance a lot, and sometimes it might be taken lightly, but it's a very, very heavy thing to be dancing with divinity, honoring your inclusion with the Trinity, and manifesting those realities that were invisible into the visible reality for other people to see and experience. It's amazing. It's amazing. So the algorithm of life is love. If you have not submitted to the algorithm of life, you will feel like you're in turmoil. You will feel like you have to fight to get to the next thing. You'll feel like this moment isn't it for you because you're so stuck in your past or you're so worried about your future. This moment is everything. This moment has everything because this moment is the only truth. This is the only moment. And so if you're missing the moment by living in the illusion of your past or a projection of your future, you're not getting to experience the sacred moment of God that's happening as you and around you. Because none of this can exist without God, without the algorithm of life, which is love. So I would submit to you there's an invitation in the spirit going out right now for you to be like Winnie the Pooh. For you to just say, hey, I don't need to listen to the Eeyores that are going, Eeyore, my name's Eeyore. Life's so hard. Well, I don't like people. I don't like myself. I don't like what Daniel David says. I don't like the way Daniel looks, and I don't like how loud he is. Doesn't that just make you sick? Like Eeyore is most of us. Really? And we're waking up and going, I don't want to be Eeyore. Now, I wasn't so much Eeyore as I was Tigger because I was bouncing around, just missing the moment. I was bouncing around, missing the moment because I didn't know it was sacred, because I didn't know God, because to know God is eternal life, and eternal life is all in this moment, because all of God is in this moment as you in a human experience. Try to tell me that's not the most gangster shit you've heard today. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're the will of God. You're the love. And in a lot of ways, even though you don't know it, you're a really big part of that algorithm. All those bad things you thought you did, the algorithm of love has used for good. And the best part is, there's no way out. There's no escaping this. There's no escaping God. There's no non-existence from existence. Do you understand that? Once this starts, there is no stop. When you think you're going to die, you're not going to die. Because the law of life is love, and love never ends. Love is eternal. You're just going to continue to wake up to more and more love, to experience more and more life. That's all that's going to keep happening. So let me give you some stuff that's helped me along this path of finding out this ridiculously humbling, humiliating, embarrassing, and aggravating news. that everything that's supposed to be is, or it couldn't be. Like,
Boy, we were dumb. So wise.
Dude, we had all these methods and equations and judgments. And really, it's just love. It's just love. Like, I'll give you an example. We just did a fundraiser for 2 days. We got a donation for $20 and a request for 5,000. And none of the people here are bent out of shape about it. You want to know why? Because there's a love lesson in it. You want to know why? There's some sort of divine experience that is waiting for us to honor it so we can expand into it, so we can carry even more than we ever have before, because our hearts are in agreement with unconditional love, which means no condition. So there's two things I want to talk about from the foundation of the algorithm of life, which is love. And that is, when you wake up to the Bible actually having a lot of truth in it, because everything was created by him and for him, love. Everything is held together by the power of his word. In the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God, and God is love. So the word is love. So everything is love. When you first put that in your mouth, it tastes like crap. You're like, yeah, but I got abused by my older brother, but I got cheated on by my wife, but and you're like, no, and you try to spit it out. But I'm here to tell you, man, once that seed is planted, there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to start realizing that you're the truth. And even a glimpse, even a crack in the door is just a little bit of the beginning of the snowball to just dominate the illusion that you've lived in, to destroy it so you can get out of it and into the truth of your human experience. You had to go through the truth of that hell, the darkness, the ignorance, the lack of knowledge, so that it could be illuminated, so your heaven could be a full experience of heaven. Because how can you experience health to its fullness if you haven't disease to its fullness? How can you experience peace to its fullness without experiencing the panic to its fullness? And so I'm not saying you have to all get cancer so you can be grateful to be well. Don't twist what I'm saying. I'm saying that everything that's been dis-ease has been used by love in the algorithm of life that is part of the human experience, that we are the creators of this realm and reality based upon our consciousness, because our consciousness reflects the human experience into a corporate experience on the earth that we call the human experience. The reason that it's the way it is right now is it's the way we think it is right now. We all think we need all these governments and all this money and all this sex and all this stuff. And we think that, so that's the way it is. And love, who's the source of all of it, is unfolding it every moment that is sacred into the next level of truth of our freedom to experience being God in man and God as man. 2 in 1, God, man. So that God can experience all of himself in a tangible, touchable reality that is sensible and huggable, laughable and cryable. Instead of being an all-knowing spirit that's everywhere, he's like, that's wonderful that that's who I am. I'm going to create another realm, and I'm going to experience all of who I am, because I'm going to create that reality. I'm going to put myself in every single person in humanity. I'm going to experience every facet of life, every pain, every trial, every tear, every celebration, every joy, every laugh. All of me is all of you, and I'm going to experience all of me as you in the human experience through the divine design of family named humanity. So, you can resist this, like I did for my whole life, and especially when it was loudly presented to me, or you can get in the river. You can Winnie the Pooh this thing, and you can start floating instead of treading water, barely keeping your head above water.
Winnie the Pooh this thing. I like that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, there's actually Taoists that have a Tao of Pooh, and it's the art of living like Winnie the Pooh. I read that book. It's gangster. I like that book. I don't want to be an Eeyore or a Tigger. I want to be like them. They'll be like, well, where are we going to go, Pooh? And Pooh's like, we're going to go wherever we need to go. And he enjoys the moment. He ain't trying to get nowhere. He's grateful in the now.
Just eating honey.
Yes, man. Just eating honey. Enjoying life. Enjoying the senses, man. They're not, none of the senses are bad. None of them. So, can you throw me that water? My mouth gets dry after yelling and talking a lot.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
A lot of air going in there.
Yep. So, there's going to be a very, very, very normal thing for anybody that's waking up. I would say everybody, but I'm not a big fan of absolutes. There will be a grieving process where you will wake up more and more and more and more to the truth that you are, to the truth that is, which is the only reason life exists is God, because God is life, and the only thing powering this life is love, because God is love, and nothing is separated from God, and nothing can exist unless it comes from the source. So I can already hear, a couple people going, well, rape isn't love, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, rape is conduct, not source, not a manifestation of something tangible into creation. That is an action that a creator did. That's all. And a creator that's the creator gets to do whatever he wants. So if he wants to eat dirt, he can eat dirt. If he wants to rape someone, he's going to rape someone. And you know what the love algorithm is going to do? The love algorithm is going to turn that shit around for good. And say, if you want to learn an amazing lesson from this that you called bad, it can expand your human experience. It can awaken levels of gratitude that change your consciousness, that changes the entire way that you perceive and experience every moment of your life so that you can be free more and more and more. What's it going to be? So there's a grieving process is what I'm saying. I cannot count how many times randomly in my car I just will start crying because I'm grieving. I'm grieving that I've resisted life for so long. I'm grieving that I've judged so many people. I'm grieving that I've been so hard on myself. I'm grieving that I didn't honor every moment as sacred. I'm grieving that I was religious and not relational, so I wasn't actually hearing the communication of my Father to love algorithm my ass in the middle of those things that I was saying, poor me, you're bad, I'm bad, living in hell of my own making. So it's normal to grieve. You're going to grieve. I'm grieving. My wife is grieving. Anybody that's waking up, whether they're doing it outwardly or on the inside of them, because that's where everything's happening anyway. We're grieving because we're waking up that we have created a hell in our human experience. But what's amazing is that the love algorithm of life has used that hell so that you can start birthing your own heaven. Because God doesn't have to go to heaven. God doesn't have to go to heaven. Why does heaven exist? God put himself in you, and the God-human, God-man experience of God himself is the experience of heaven. Peace that passes understanding, joy unspeakable, pleasure at his right hand, which is you, where you are. Yup. There's no way to experience and be grateful for my children, all the way grateful, unless I was super ungrateful. There's no way, because I don't know any different. If all I've ever been in is warm water, then I don't know what cold water feels like. And I'm not very grateful for the warm water. And that's why all of these other faiths that we don't like as Christians, they're so much more accurate than us. They honor all of life. They honor neutrality instead of duality. They honor experience as neither good or bad, but it's life that's expanding more life. I'm sure you guys have heard that video of the guy that goes, hey, your horse ran away. That's bad. And the guy goes, maybe. And they're like, no, you don't understand. It's bad that your horse went away. Think about it. Dude, if you're living back then, your horse was your transportation. Your horse carried your water from the river to your village. Your horse was a huge part of the operation of your human experience. And some dude that's like us back then, that's bad. Your horse ran away. And the dude's like, he understands the algorithm of life. and that's love, and that it's working for him, and that there's a beautiful sacred lesson in it. And he goes, maybe that it's bad. And then a bunch of horses came back. That horse found other horses and brought them back to his land. Isn't that good? No. It's not good. And it's not bad. So someone goes, oh my gosh, that horse brought back a bunch of other horses. Isn't that good? And the guy goes, maybe. So his son's like, I want to ride horses. So he lets his son get on a horse. The horse knocks his son off, breaks his son's leg. His son's screaming. And of course, all of us, before we got born again, to wake up to the fact that we are truth and that everything's working together for our good and that everything that exists came out of God and everything is held together by God and God is love. So the algorithm of life is love. How many of us, when our kid falls down and hurts himself, we would go, that's bad. Or we would get mad at the kid that pushed our kid down. Anybody? I literally played that scenario out in my head the other week. What would I do if I watched a kid punch my kid in the face? Do I agree with love? Or do I go back to my dualistic, self-centered, human experience of hell that I created by the creative spirit inside of me that is watching my heart to believe and manifest whatever I want? Huh? Really think about it, guys. Whatever you've wanted, you've got. I did. I was like, hey, I want to go get a job. I went and got a job. Hey, I want to go get a girlfriend. I got a girlfriend. Hey, I want to go do drugs. I went and did drugs. Hey, I want to go have sex. I went and had sex. Guys, I created all of that. None of that is good or bad. All of that was powered by the Spirit of God that is love, but it does whatever I say because I am the creator of my human experience. And it's not good or bad. So I've had to grieve that every single thing that I used to resist was trying to help me. And I missed it because I didn't love myself. And because I didn't love myself, I wasn't willing to tell myself the truth because I was so comfortable in the construct of Christianity and the limitations of the programs of life that I was used to and secure in. But the algorithm of love has set me free by me accepting truth and that truth is me. And so the truth that is me is setting me free to be me. And getting to be me is beginning to let me see me so I can see life for what it really is. A big, beautiful love lesson of amazing experiences that are not good or bad. They're all God so that God could be me because I am the perfect will of God or I wouldn't be. Nothing can exist apart from God's will. And so I'm just expanding in that. So the guy's son gets on the horse. The guy's son gets on the horse, falls off, breaks his leg. And some guy goes, oh my gosh, that horse is bad. This broken leg is bad, 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 bad. Ugh. And the dad goes, maybe. Maybe it is. Neutral, life, aware, sacred, not fighting, not resisting, enjoying every moment for what it is. And this guy comes by in a military outfit to his town. And he said, we're drafting the boys. They're all going to war. We need you. And they looked at the boy with the broken leg and said, not you. And his boy didn't have to go to war. And all those boys went and got killed or whatever. Thank God that dad said maybe it was bad to the broken leg. Because the guy was like, hey, isn't it good that your boy missed out on having to go to the war? This idiot still has not learned the lesson that maybe is the answer. That now is the moment. That neutral is the mindset. So that you don't judge anything, so that you don't judge yourself, so that you don't put yourself back in prison, which is hell inside of you. So what are you going to do? Keep fighting? Not me, man. What are you going to do? Keep judging? Not me, man. I'm done putting myself in hell. What are you going to do? justify being this or that. No, I'm going to love because it makes my human experience better. And it accelerates God into the whole reason that the human experience exists, so that we can go through all the darkness, which is ignorance, lack of knowledge. That's why we get scared when the lights are off. We don't know what's there. So we're just like, darkness is bad. I don't like not knowing. Me. That's all that's happening when it's dark. That's all that was happening when we were driving through the woods and I didn't know where we were and my heart started beating and it was the manifestation of the human experience of fear. That's all that was. So what are you going to do, man? You going to swallow the pill? You're going to take the red pill or the blue pill? Because it's time to wake up. It's time to unplug from the system and start enjoying the source that powers your body. Honor the fact that God is animating your body. And then letting God do whatever he wants to do. Because I don't get prophetic words for myself. I don't go out and get prophetic words from people. I have the mind of Christ. He has a thought. It's God thinking it as me. I'm thinking it and I do it. That's it. I only do what I see my Father doing. Which means I have the desire of my Father and I do what he wants to do all day, every day, because the sons are led by the Spirit. Sometimes I'll just know I need to do something. Last night I just knew that I needed to go love myself by loving my home, by raking my yard. Because my home is an extension of myself. I can tell myself I love myself all day long, but until I do something, faith without works is dead. And faith through action brings in a new experience. And that experience of self-love is what I'm wanting to increase. So I went and raked my yard because I love myself. And that's new for me, man. That's new for me. But it's exciting. So grieve. Cry. Be honest with yourself. Me and my wife do it regularly. We're like, dang, I am waking up so much, so fast. I can't believe how selfish I was. I can't believe I judged you, which is judging me. I can't believe I let this moment get stolen from because I was in my past or in my future. And I'm done being in hell. I'm done living in torment. I'm done missing the moment. I'm done not getting to know God by getting to know Billy. I've known Billy for 10 years, and I've never honored him enough to believe that he's God, to get the gold that is me, that's in him, because we're all one. And that this entire system that's powered by the source called life, that's governed by the algorithm of love, says that is truth, that where I am in my mind is where I am in my life. And so Billy is in my mind, so he's in my life to mirror something to me, to help me. That's love trying to help me. And I missed Billy for 9 out of 10 years. I miss Billy trying to fix him. I miss Billy trying to preach to him. I miss Billy running away from him. Whatever. I missed God. So grieve. Grieve. Be mad at yourself for a minute. That's fine. As long as it's honest, it's truth. If it's truth, it's perfect. If it's perfect, it's going to unfold you into more truth. And it's going to unfold you into a more perfected human experience. For real. It's going to happen. Own where you're at. If you're scared, you're not decreeing you're scared and establishing it, super charismatics. You're telling the truth. You're walking in the light as he is in the light so that you can have fellowship with one another and be continually cleansed by the blood of Jesus. If you're not honest about where you're at, you ain't ever going to move from where you're at, and you're going to stay in hell until the corporate consciousness of the human experience of heaven, that is the sons of God, the family of humanity that's actually falling in love, they'll wake you up eventually. Or you can choose to do it right now with us. It's up to you. So what do you want to do? You like these systems? You like being told what to do? You like being told you can't drink that, you can't smoke that, you can't go there? Or do you want to be a part of the source that is the force that is literally going to transform the entire world with love? Do you want to be the word in the flesh that fulfills the prophecies of the word that is supposed to be manifested through a group called the latter rain that's going to be greater than the former rain, that reveals the knowledge, We're the experience of God. We're the experiential knowledge of the glory of God that will cover the earth as the water covers the sea. Through Christ in you and Christ in me. Over and over, I'm going to say this. Repetition confirms and strengthens. You got to know that you're Christ. You got to know that you're love. You got to know that you don't got to do anything. You can submit to stupidity like I did if you want. And keep going around the merry-go-round mountain of not going into the promised land. Not me. I am in the beginning of my promised land. Right now. Does it feel like it all the time? No. But every time it doesn't feel good, the algorithm of love is teaching me something true to set me more free. So let go, man, if you can, of duality. Good, bad, right, wrong, judging all day long. You got enough to work on that's in your eye. I promise. I got plenty still going on in my eye. How dare I try to point at something in you? How dare I? Now let me share another thing. According to God, and according to quantum science that was created by God, because everything was created by him and for him, but quantum science doesn't solve God, it proves God, because quantum science isn't big enough to hold God, because God isn't held by the limits of all of these paradigms that came from God to help us get to more of God. According to quantum science and according to God, every single thing that's happening, you created. That's non-negotiable. So you can either resist it or learn from it. Period. Everything is working together for your good because you love God. And love is the algorithm of life. Okay? Love is the algorithm of life. Non-negotiable. I have two roads I want to go down, but I'm kind of waiting to see which one I really want to go down. So be patient. Let me follow what I'm teaching right now, or what I'm imparting, what realm I'm releasing right now. Just give me a minute. Because this is the sacred moment. This is where love is. This is where every lesson is. This is where life is. So, part of this waking up is part of the transitional bridge between the hell that comes from the systems of bondage and control and the heaven that comes from enjoying every moment, loving yourself, loving others, and just living and experiencing, trading to other parts of the body. And well, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing. That's why we're sitting in this teepee. We are cultivating conditioning that shifts our consciousness to not having faith in the systems, but faith in the source. Like, I used to think that my bank account identified me. You know what that was? Money being my master. And what sucks is, I'm willing to say that less than 5 people in my human experience are not mastered by money. Sorry. This is my reality. And for anybody that doesn't know this, let me pause there. I'm talking about money, Buffalo. Help me remember that. Your reality is 100% different than mine. That's why judging according to the flesh is off the table for a son of God. Because everything that I'm seeing and perceiving, I'm perceiving from my reality. And my reality, because I am one with God, and I have created my universe from what I believe and my consciousness and my heart creation gate, your creation is totally different than mine. So when something manifests out of your creation and I perceive it in my human experience, I've got no fucking right to tell you that it's right or wrong. None. Because if it's happening, it's supposed to be happening. Or I don't believe my Bible. I don't believe the law of love. I don't believe that everything works together for your good. I don't believe that everything was created by God and for God. And that just makes me anti-Christ again, which I've already been for over 30 years of my life. I'm done being anti-Christ. I'm done being anti-life. I'm done being anti-love. I'm done being anti-relationship. I'm done being anti-honor. I'm done being anti-forgiveness. I'm done. I'm done. I hope you are, because it's not serving you. We're all one. If it's not serving me and I found that out, I can tell you it's not going to be serving you neither. Because you've got no clue. And the hardest thing is until you literally are Billy Reinhart in this moment, you can't know his reality. Yep. And the only way to get some of the privilege of knowing absolutely what Billy is experiencing is if I know that I'm one with Billy and I choose to hold him and engage with his reality so that I can wake up and realize that thing that I was like, well, that can't be so hard. He's got less responsibilities. He's got this or that, or whatever stupid, selfish, anti-love words were coming out of my mouth that really were me judging myself. Yup. That was trash, man. Because I'm here to tell you, he has been in a reality that I'll never know, and I don't have to. Because that's his human experience as God. And God wanted to be Billy and wanted to experience everything that he's experiencing. Or it wouldn't be happening because nothing can happen apart from the source. So I'd rather just enjoy Billy. So this is a healthy commission from love that you're probably judging yourself because I did most of my life. I judged myself by judging others, not according to the Spirit, but according to the flesh. And according to the Spirit is according to God, because God is Spirit and God is love. And that Spirit is the thing that this entire realm is being held up by. Those words that are love, that hold together all of the world is love. That's the algorithm. That's the algorithm of life. So I would recommend not fighting against the algorithm of life. Or that darkness part of your life that has to happen is going to be longer than that. You know, it's not going to be longer than the heaven part.
Very important part to the verse that everybody wants to leave out. All things work together for the good for those who love him, seek him, called according to his purpose. So once you realize this algorithm that you're saying, once you do realize, oh, this is the algorithm of life, it can get perverted real quick when you think, oh, all things are just working out for good. Well, not in the experience of all people. It's all working out for the good for those who love him, seek him, called according to his purpose. What purpose? The purpose of love, setting you free. So all who actually wake up to begin to start seeking love, to know the truth of love so they can get set free from their self, all things work together for the good of those people. But anybody who's not seeking to know and understand love and the truth of all things, it's going to come feeling like Satan. It's going to come feeling like chaos. It's going to come feeling like turmoil and all of that. And it's going to be whatever you call it. But at the end of the day, it's the exact same algorithm happening all over, because love to somebody who's not yet looking for love might mean having to spank their ass or allow some destruction to come in to bring them to a place of humility till they give up on their own self-interest and stuff and turn to love and begin seeking love. And then all of a sudden, the algorithm of love begins to start working in their favor and shifting and changing everything around to let them know you're on the right track. I'm here with you. It says faith without works is dead. We must first believe that he is who? Love. And that he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Seek love. So when you begin to start seeking the truth of love above all else, no matter what it looks like or what it costs, that algorithm begins to start restructuring and changing the reality around you and making sense of everything. And everything begins to make sense. Because it was all to get your attention and to break you free out of your own mind and out of your own judgments.
Because it's all love. Genuinely. And for those of you guys that this isn't obvious to, I don't know if anyone's ever been a teenager. Me, you, for sure. If you're on this live stream, you're probably not younger than a teenager.
You're probably still a teenager.
Yeah. So
listening to this wacky stuff.
When you were a teenager, and when I was a teenager, and my mom and dad came, and they were like, I don't want you going there, or there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And I was like, I hate you! I hate you! And I'd go to my room, my heart would be beating, and I'd be panicking because I wouldn't be able to people please these people I wanted to look cool in front of. I couldn't go to that party. I couldn't go to that place. It was hell. because of what I was believing, because of my mind. That was my perspective, which manifested my human experience, which produced my emotions. I connected my emotions to it being bad, so that energy and motion created an experience that was bad, that was hell. And so, guess what? Now, hindsight technology, thank you, Shauna Christian, I look back and go, that was love. They wanted me to not go hurt myself, which is what I did. They wanted me to not go to a place that would damage me, which I did. And so, that's why we cannot go good, bad, good, bad, good, bad in other people's human experience. Because, where they're at, it's bad to them. And you don't get to be their God. Your human experience does not get to be their sovereign lordship. God uses your human experience as God to help them if they're willing to listen. But you don't tell anyone what to do. You don't tell anyone what's right and wrong. Because you've got no idea. No clue. And I want to just caveat something that Daniel said. Even if you don't love God and are not accepting the call of his purpose, which is love, you're just not perceiving that shit's working together for your good. But it still is. It still is. Because God is in everything here. And everything is trying to give you a love lesson. But we got to slow down and listen. Which is why I haven't done live streams. Like hardly at all, other than announcing stuff that we're doing. So I invite you into the truth that God is love. And if God is love, guess what, guys? Then love is God. Can anybody here honestly go 100%, I have submitted to the truth that love is God. And the God love, the unconditional love, has no condition. So the question is, and this tail doves into all of why I'm saying all of this, because there's purpose in my life. And that is for the family of humanity to wake up to oneness and to share life together, to get out of the systems of bondage and into the source life of sharing life, sharing all that we have so that we have all that we need for every good work, so great grace can be upon us all in the human experience, which is the experience of God that we are, and in each other and with each other, which is called heaven. And that's what I want. That's what I want everybody to experience. So guess what, guys? The only reason that we don't walk together is we've got conditions not to. The only reason we don't get over things is we've got a condition that needs to be met. The only reason we don't let something go is we've got a condition that needs to happen. And that's why we're not Winnie the Poohing this thing. That's why we're not jumping in the poo way. That's why we're still treading water and going underwater and barely breathing and getting tired and burning out, wanting to give up. Some of us just want to drown. It's because we're not in agreement with the algorithm. We're not in agreement with the truth. And the truth, guys, in case anybody's wondering, it doesn't start out here. It starts in here. You're the truth. You're love. The spirit that's powering the animation of your human experience that you bring into this realm to share with all of us that is God. Yep. It's love. You're love. You're not trying to love. You're not trying to grow in love. You are love. You're love that's doing it by itself. Well, I sure didn't feel like it when I beat up that kid that one time, Dan. It is my power working mightily in you to do what pleases me. Those lessons that you learned when you were in kid jail and you learned those lessons, that was love in that circumstance that you called bad. It's always trying. You are always trying to help you, whether you know it or not. And the proof of it is this. Let me give you some practical proof. Does anybody journal? I do. On my phone, a whole bunch, and sometimes on my journal itself. Go sit down with a pen by yourself and write down lies to yourself about where you're really at. It's just not going to happen. You want to know why? Because that's retarded. Because it's dumb. Who are you lying to now? Who are you lying to now? And so that's why journaling is what I would call part of the technology of life expansion, love expansion. Because when you go sit down by yourself and that pen hits paper, there is zero reason to not write the truth. And the reason that you do write the truth of where you're at is so you can get to another truth that's greater. Even if the truth that you're in is, I want to go shoot crack. Write that down. I want to go shoot crack. Because as you see it in the light...
Not possible, but go ahead.
Because as you see it in the light, I want to smoke crack. You can see all that's around that truth that you're in that you don't want. And then it unfolds into the next level of truth. And then you don't go smoke crack. You see how this works? So journaling is honesty technology, heaven technology to increase your God experience that humans call heaven. So go journal, man. Go journal. Because what are you going to do? Go hang out with yourself and then tell yourself a lie? We do that stuff unconsciously throughout our day. But when pen is in paper and it hits that, you're like, this is really what's going on. And that's why it's so healthy. So a couple commissions went forth during this live stream. One was swallowing the pill that love is the algorithm of life. Two, that duality is hell. Judgment is not an operation of love because judgment puts a condition on things. That's bad. That's good. These things need to happen. These things don't need to happen. I'm here to tell you, you are perfect right where you're at. If you'll be honest with where you're at and tell the truth about where you're at, you'll unfold into the next truth of God that you are in your human experience, which is going to increase your tangible experience of heaven. And that's what I want for you more than anything, because that's what I'm experiencing. So don't let love be your master. And you find out if love is your master by the way that you look at your bank account. How are you looking at your bank account? Is it telling you who you are? Is it telling you how okay you are? Is it telling you how secure you are? Because if it is, money's your master. I would recommend changing your mind. I'd recommend you being honest with yourself. Guys, I had to do that over the past month. That just happened to me. Some things were in the mirror of my human experience showing me that money is mastering part of my human experience. Because my kids, my wife, my MBK family, my Immortal Glory Life Abundant family, they're parts of my life showing me how to not be mastered by anything but love and to not want anything but the activation of the algorithm of love in my life so that I can be aware of it. Because if I'm aware of it during any circumstance, every circumstance is sacred and beautiful. Every moment is sacred and beautiful. And I'm done judging moments as bad and having bad experiences because of that judgment. I'm just done. I'm done judging people as bad. So then when I'm around them, I feel bad. I'm done. I'm done stealing from myself. Winnie the Pooh is my way. All right? The Woo way. The Pooh way. The Pooh way is my way. I love that guy, man. I love him. He's more whack than all of us. So, yep. Love is the algorithm of life. If any of you would like to explore this algorithm through the divine design of family, you can be one of the 144. That absolutely is a symbolic door in your consciousness to the fulfillment of prophecy that humanity is supposed to bring the solution to the pollution of these systems to introduce people to the source so they can enjoy the force of love being a tangible and touchable part of their life. If you are interested in being one of the 144, which are the foundation of the move of God that we are, that is used through words that express what we are: immortal glory, life abundant, my brother's keeper. That's God. That's family. All of those words describe the move of God that we are in the human experience. So if you want to be part of the 144, private message myself, Daniel David, Buffalo down there. Buffalo, you want to say hi?
Hey.
Hey. Buffalo's so cool. Or Ricardo Hawk. So it's time. Heaven is at hand. Are you willing to take responsibility that you as God need to get a hold of the God that you are so you can start experiencing the heaven that's already here? Huh? You want to get in on this river of wackadoo shingback glory? I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for all of you. I will humbly say the truth that will unfold into more truth about our fundraiser. We did a fundraiser for 2 days with probably over 10 to 15 hours of content that is truth and love, that's expression, that's a mirror to try to help expand your human experience because we're all one into more of heaven. And we got one donation.
3.
Oh.
1 to you, 2 to me.
Okay. There was one donation to the corporate box, and it was $20 for the 2 days. And that donation is how we're going to fuel the entire, I think it's, how many miles was it? I just saw it over there.
3,600, I think?
3,600 mile road trip to Indian reservations, to other states, to people's homes. And then a small group going to Brian Christian, me and my wife, and those that feel led to come over there and absorb from him to expand our God experience, because they're God releasing the revelation of more divinity into us. And we also got someone requesting that we give them $5,000. So those were the only 2 PayPal transactions that we saw through the main PayPal for the fundraiser. So if anybody feels led by love to trade into that 13 to 15 hours and these expressions, but more importantly, the move of God that we all are as one, for those of us that are waking up, which is you guys. Because if you're on my live stream and you can stay on here without running away, I know that you've woken up. I know that you want truth, because I am loud about it. And my expression is whale energy, bro. It is big, loud, emotional expression that is unashamed about the truth connected to that energy and motion. And so props for enduring this part of God that is in your human experience. So I love you guys. I bless you guys. If you guys want to be one of the 144, please private message me, Buffalo Hawk, Daniel David.
Getting locked in this week or these next couple of days.
It's getting locked in. And the 144 has some benefits to their human experience by honoring the divine design of family through this move of God. And that is includes, but is not limited to, my home is now your home. You can come here anytime. This teepee that's in my backyard is an experience like nobody's business. Everybody here gets whacked, man, in one way or another. And it's amazing. By love. And this is available to you 24/7. You want to come for a day? Great. You want to come for a month? Great. You can have a timeshare and pay for it through the system and the currency of money that has limits, or you can come be a part of this and experience this part of the move of God in your human experience whenever you want. Or you can go to Ometepe Island, which is a volcano named Conception that has the Nicaragua community. And you can go down there. And all you got to do is get there. You don't got to pay nothing. You just got to experience. Go there and experience. And guess what? Now we got communities launching in Africa. Mm-hmm. And you can go there. You just got to get there. They will take care of you. They will love you. They will impart to you. They will expand you. So guess what? Eventually, there's going to be this everywhere. So you can go anywhere, because all things are possible for those that believe, and all things are yours. And guys, this is a fulfillment of the word of God that says things present, things future, the world, all things are yours. This is one of the practical ways that can happen, which is awesome. So I love you guys. I bless you guys. And if you are not on my newer Facebook page, I am not over here doing any of the bubblegum prophecy and the man, I'm trying to think of an appropriate way to say that, because all I have is, it's not bad. The spiritual masturbation. We think we're so spiritual because we get a lot of likes and shares. That doesn't determine anything of the quality of the divinity that's being released through your humanity at all. It's if you are being led by the Spirit. And the Spirit led me off of the big public page and onto a smaller page for this family, for this move of God. And I'm going to follow the Spirit no matter how uncomfortable it gets, because really what it's doing is it's expanding my ability to be comfortable no matter what's uncomfortable. And that's called being above and not below, in case anybody was wondering. That's a promise and manifest in the human experience. So I love you guys. I bless you guys.
Mailbox.
Yeah. I love you. I love you. I'm getting the Spirit wrap it up from this sexy God.
Wrap it up.
Love you, love you, love you. We got stuff to do. Boom, boom, boom. 144, message us.